So on a day in May of 2022, we early in the morning, our facilities manager had discovered a quite horrific graffiti on the side of our historic sanctuary, spray painted onto the side. And a few days later, we had a rock thrown through a window in our library in our building in that same general vicinity. Around that same period of time, there were numerous attacks. A Islamic center that had an arson attempt, another synagogue that had an attack, a whole series of these. And of course, there was a lot of concern. What does this mean to have our sanctuary with a graffiti that made reference to the Holocaust? The irony of that being that the senior rabbi is the son of a Holocaust survivor. For the congregation itself, I think it brought this sense of vulnerability. We're always kind of in this balance between feeling comfortable, safe, and secure in this incredible country that we live in that does protect our rights, and knowing that there are people who hate us just because we're Jewish. Doesn't matter what actions it is, doesn't matter what our connection are, doesn't matter what our political views are, just the very fact of being Jewish turns us into a target. And all of these acts of anti-Semitism, both locally and nationally, one of the things that gives me a lot of confidence and hope is that the community has rallied around us. We receive letters, postcards, even people dropping off notes that they've handwritten to the synagogue offering support. Phone calls that I get from our elected leaders and from just people in the community, church groups and others who just express caring and compassion and want to distance themselves from acts of anti-Semitism and make it clear to us that those actions do not speak for them. And this battle to protect the rights of individuals, to protect the rights of minorities, is the most American thing we can be doing. It is speaking to this reality that we are a pluralistic nation, that we are made stronger by our diversity, and our diversity far from weakens us. And those who are afraid of diversity are misunderstanding what America is all about. They're misunderstanding America's history. The Trump years brought this idea of prejudice out into the open, where politicians who in a previous era would be afraid to be photographed standing next to a known anti-Semite, a known racist, now that's somehow become acceptable. And the rise of social media and the ability for groups with very marginalized ideas to communicate with each other unseen allows many of these prejudices, including anti-Semitism, to fester and to grow and to take action. And we saw this undeniably on January 6th, that these conspiracy theories can be turned into direct and dangerous action. We saw it in Charlottesville as well. Prejudice grows when it's not challenged. And it's easy for people to repeat ridiculous things when they have no context and when they're unchallenged, when no one calls them on it. So this is something that's in our power. We don't have to put ourselves in physical danger, but we can speak up. And when there are actions that really need to be reported to the police they should be reported. We need to make sure that law enforcement knows that this is a reality in our community. They need to know what the real experiences are. We need to know what the lived experience of anti-Semitism is like for us.